Do you have a child who receives special education services, and you want to do everything possible to make sure they are happy and successful in school? Keep watching to learn how you can understand and support your child's education, starting with their IEP.
An IEP has many important parts. This video will address 4.
Tamika. Hi. The school year has just started back, and I want to do everything I can to make sure Jason has his best year yet.
Jason made such great progress last year. And this year will be even better. Even though you hired me, you will always be Jason's strongest advocate. Let's review Jason's IEP.
An IEP, or Individualized Education Program, is a written plan, created for a student who is eligible to receive special education services. It is developed, reviewed, and updated in meetings. IEPs have to meet legal guidelines. The IEP outlines what supports and services the eligible student will receive, based on their individual needs.
Let's review some parts of Jason's IEP, starting with his present levels of academic and functional performance.
The present levels component of the IEP describes the areas where a student with a disability may need support. This component of the IEP focuses on 2 main parts of development: academic, and when needed, functional skills, according to an article written by Pat Howie, called "The Foundation of the IEP." If the present levels are accurate, current, and comprehensive, the IEP team will have the information they need to develop an impactful IEP.
Jason's present levels used to be a lot of numbers and test scores I didn't understand. Now I understand. Jason knows most letters and their sounds. And he can read CVC words. But Jason's tests show he still struggles with digraphs. He is still learning to read words with blends.
Now Jason's present levels are written in a way that's easy to understand. It's no longer just a list of scores. We also learned that his strongest area in math is geometry. And he is still learning his multiplication facts. Let's look at Jason's IEP goals.
IEP goals address the needs described in the present levels of academic achievement and functional performance. They should be measurable, and enable the student to make progress in the grade level standards-based curriculum.
Jason started making progress on his IEP goals after you started supporting us and his school.
We just needed to work with the school to make sure his IEP goals were related to the needs outlined in his present levels.
Now Jason has goals to learn how to read words with digraphs and blends. And he has math goals so he can learn multiplication and other math facts. Jason also has goals to help him improve his number sense as well as to use more math strategies, which will really help him to make progress with the 4th grade general education curriculum.
Next, let's review his supplementary aids and services.
Supplementary aids and services are services and supports that are provided in regular education settings, that enable students with disabilities to learn with their non-disabled peers as much as possible. Supplementary aids and services can be accommodations and modifications to the curriculum. They can also include direct services and supports to the student, or training, for staff who work with the student.
Remember when Jason's accommodations seemed like they were written for a different child?
I remember. And every child is different. Each IEP should be as unique as each student. Are you still pleased with his current instructional and testing accommodations?
I'm glad we were able to remove the pencil grip accommodation. His handwriting is fine without it. He needed it in the 2nd grade. But he doesn't need it anymore.
As a student's skills evolve, so should their services. I'm glad we added the pre-teaching of vocabulary terms. I'm sure his reading will improve, then he'll no longer need that accommodation. Let's look at the service delivery component of Jason's IEP.
The service delivery component of the IEP outlines the services that a child with a disability will receive. It should include how often the child will receive services, how long each session will last, where the services will be provided. It should even include when the services begin and end.
After Jason started receiving his reading in a small group special education classroom, he started making significant improvement.
That's wonderful, but please remember, the least restrictive environment requirement of the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act means public schools should educate students with disabilities in regular classrooms to the maximum extent appropriate. Children with disabilities should stay in regular classes as much as possible. They should only be placed in separate classes or schools if their disability is so severe they can't learn well in a regular classroom, even with extra support outlined in their IEP.
I'm so glad we're working together another year.
Me too.
Key takeaways. If you are a parent of a child who has an IEP but don't understand the IEP, don't be afraid to ask questions. You deserve to understand everything about this important document. If you are a special education teacher, make sure every IEP is an individualized document, reflecting the unique needs of each student. More information and resources are available at www.eduadvocateallies.org. Please like and subscribe to learn more about how we can work together to ensure every child with exceptional needs has the access to the quality education they deserve.